Hi geographers, and welcome to the latest video for CBA Geography. And in today's lesson we'll be starting looking at coastal features, and we're looking at coastal features of erosion. This lesson's on headlands and bays. So for the first thing first, can you please write down on your paper the title and just complete the do now. I'll give you a moment to pause the video and complete the do now. Right, lovely. So let's go through the answers. Question 1 is a landslide. Question 2 is weathering. Question 3 is slumping. Question 4 is chemical. Question 5 is freeze-thaw. Mass movement is the downward movement of rock due to gravity. Question 7 is constructive. And question 8 is destructive. So, today we're going to be looking at headlands and bays. And just to remind you that the whole learning objective is to understand how these headlands and bays are formed. If we look at this picture here, a headland is a piece of hard rock sticking out to sea. This is a headland, and this is a headland. And a bay is a sheltered area between two headlands, which is made up of soft rock, which has been eroded away. So here is a bay, and here is a bay. So headland, hard rock sticking out to sea, and the bay is the soft rock which has been eroded inland, which now sits between two headlands. So, got some keywords. Please pause the video here and write down the keywords. We've got discordant coastline, which is a coastline of hard and soft rock facing the sea. Differential erosion, when rocks erode at different speeds along the same coastline. Headland, hard rock sticking out to sea. Bay, a sheltered area between two headlands. And deposition, which is the dropping and dumping of sediment by the water. So please pause it and get down the keywords. Right, so a little recap. When we're talking about erosion, there are 4 processes of erosion. And every time we write a process in geography, we need to outline it to say what it is. So if you don't know these, I strongly suggest writing these down. We've got hydraulic action. This is the power of the waves forcing air into cracks, which cause the rock to break off. We've got abrasion, which is when the sea throws stones at the cliff and hits the cliff, and this is sort of a sandpapering effect, and that wears away the rock. We've got attrition, which is when stones carried by the sea hit into other stones and the pebbles become smaller, softer and rounder. And then we've got solution, which is the acidity of the sea, which dissolves any rock. So like I said, please feel free to pause and copy down these types of erosion. Right, moving on. Here is 4 images showing abrasion, attrition, solution, and hydraulic action. I've got numbers 1, 2, 3 and 4. What I'd like you to do is just write down the numbers 1, 2, 3 and 4. Pause the video and match up the definition to each type of erosion. Right, so let's go through the answers. Number 1, the dissolving of soluble chemicals is solution. Number 2, the power of the waves is hydraulic action. Number 3, rock fragments that hit into one another becoming rounded is attrition. And number 4, the sandpapering effect of the pebbles hitting the coast is abrasion. So, headlands and bays. We're back to our picture we saw at the start. Just think, what 2 key terms could we use to complete these sentences? The first sentence would be a headland is a band of hard rock sticking out from the coastline to the sea. And the second one would be a bay is a sheltered area formed between 2 headlands and beaches. So the next picture I'm going to show you is Dorset coastline, and I'm just showing you this now because we're going to look at Dorset throughout this topic. We're going to look today at Swanage, looking at a bay and the headlands either side of it. We're going to look at Old Harry and a stack which forms. We're going to look at Kimmerid, which is a wave cut platform. We're going to look at Hurst Spit, which is a spit depositional landform formed by Highcliffe, and we're going to look here at Barton-on-Sea and Highcliffe at coastal management. So, we have 2 types of coastline, like I've said already. We've got concordant coastline, which is at the south of this picture where we can see the limestone facing the sea, and we've got discordant coastline, which is where different types of rock face the same piece of water. So if we look here, we've got Studland Bay, Ballard Point, Swanage Bay and Dalston Head. This is a mixture of clay, chalk, clay, limestone, and the clay is the soft rock which is going to erode faster. And this eventually forms what is known as headlands and bays. So I'm just going to show you a quick diagram of how headlands and bays form. feel free to copy this down with me and we can add any explanation to it. So, the first step of a headland and bay formation is we have a discordant coastline facing the sea. So we've got layers of hard and soft rock facing the sea. The second step is the sea uses destructive waves and hydraulic action, so the power of the water hitting the land, and that erodes the soft rock faster because it is less resistant. And as the soft rock erodes, it retreats inland, forming a sheltered bay. The hard rock is more resistant to erosion, and that means that the hard rock doesn't erode. The hard rock remains out to sea, and this hard rock here and the hard rock here are called headlands, and the fact the erosion happens at different speeds is called differential erosion. And the third step is we have the headlands either side of the bay, and what we can see here forming is a beach because the wind cannot access the bay, so the bay is sheltered, so we get constructive waves deposit sediment and form a beach. I will go over that again, and again feel free to draw the diagram if you would like. So, the first picture, we've got hard rock, soft rock, hard rock, a discordant coastline, and the waves are attacking it. So at the discordant coastline there are bands of hard and soft rock perpendicular to the coast. What we can see in step 2 is over time there is differential erosion. The softer rock is eroded faster because it is less resistant. This is eroded by destructive waves through hydraulic action, the power of the water hitting the cliffs. This erodes, forming a bay. Eventually, the soft rock is completely eroded away and retreats inland, forming our bay, and the harder rock, the headland, is more resistant to erosion, so therefore it doesn't erode and it sticks out to sea. And what we can see in the bay is a beach is formed, and that forms in the bay because, like I said, the bay is sheltered, so constructive waves deposit sediment, forming a beach. Right, so next thing I want you to do is, this is just a paragraph basically summarising everything we've done in the diagrams. I would like you to copy out the paragraph and fill in the gaps. If you don't want to do that, you can literally just write numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 for the gaps and fill in the keywords. I'll give you time to pause the video now and do that. I suggest copying it out because that would be good for your notes for revision. Right, so you've unpaused it, let's go through the answers. Headlands and bays form along, and the keyword from the bottom is discordant coastline. When destructive waves use hydraulic action, which is the power of the waves hitting the coast, erodes the soft rock faster than the hard. This is called differential erosion. This creates a bay when the soft rock is eroded, leaving the hard rock sticking out to sea. These are known as headlands. In the bay, the water is sheltered, so constructive waves deposit sediment by dropping it, and this will form a beach. Hopefully we're all there with the keywords. If you are not and you're a little bit confused, please rewind and go watch the diagram formation again and copy the notes down, rewatch it and go over the 3 steps. And this leads on to the blue zone, so please could you write out the question which is explain how headlands and bays form and change over time. Please bug the question, so box the commandment and underline any geography. I have the success criteria, a POS paragraph. It's just one paragraph. You need to name a process. This could be discordant coastline, hydraulic action, deposit, and then you need to outline it, say what the process is. Throughout all of this, you'll be following the sequence. You'll be putting the steps in the correct order. Step 1, there's a discordant coastline, blah blah blah. Right, so here's a model of what success will look like. We've got headlands and bays like Swanage Bay and Dorset form along discordant coastlines. I've given a process, and then in brackets I outline it, layers of hard and soft rock. Destructive waves erode the soft rock through hydraulic action. I've given a process, so I need to outline it, power of the waves hitting the rock. This erosion happens quickly as the soft rock is less resistant. The hard rock is more resistant, so it does not erode. This leads to the soft rock retreating and forming a bay, with the hard rock sticking out either side of the headland. And what we've done there is I've just given the sequence. I'm just giving the steps of how it happens. Within the bay, the sea is sheltered from the wind. This means constructive waves deposit, given a process, so I'm going to have to outline it, drop sediment forming a beach. What I would like you to do now, guys, is I'd like you to answer the question using the keywords and success criteria, and then rewind and mark it using the model answer there. Thank you. Bye bye.